Game 1 of the NBA Finals is finally here, and we got a massive injury update for both teams. The Boston Celtics have nobody on the injury report, and it's looking like Kristaps Porziņģis is ready to go for this squad. But on the other side with the Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic is having some knee issues. Could this harm the Dallas Mavericks' chances of winning Game 1? And could the Boston Celtics start off the series on a good note? We'll be breaking down all of this and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. One thing I like to say before we get into the video is tonight we will be live once again doing another live watch along. So come through, come hang out with us. Would greatly appreciate it. But let's get into the news at hand today, breaking down these injury updates. First, we're going to be diving in, looking at the Boston Celtics injury updates. If we want to look at this, we can see from this team that they have nobody on the injury report, which is huge for the Boston Celtics this time. We'll have a little bit of a clip here to kind of give you the confirmation from Kristaps Porziņģis here on what he had to say.
No, I'll play tomorrow.
You will play
I will play tomorrow.
As you guys can see, he said he is going to play tomorrow, and he is for sure going to be suiting up for this squad. He has not come back for the Boston Celtics in 5.5 weeks, a little bit over a month, and his last game that he did play in was on Game 4 versus the Miami Heat, where he did get injured and have to leave halfway through. Now, if we want to look at Kristaps Porziņģis' postseason stats, they're not the brightest because he hasn't played in as many games, but in Game 1 versus the Miami Heat, he set off the tone fantastic for the Boston Celtics, really taking control in that first half and really getting the momentum going so the Celtics could win Game 1 by an astonishing mark. Now, if we want to look at the Celtics, stats also with this team, we can obviously see that even though Kristaps Porziņģis has been, not been able to play with the team and been that third star, guys like Derrick White and Jrue Holiday have stepped up tremendously for this squad on the offensive side or the defensive side, really plugging in and filling in those holes that the Celtics need every single night. Guys like Al Horford as well has been maintained that stay-ready mentality, stepping into being that center for Kristaps Porziņģis. And now with Porziņģis being back, I expect him to be even a better player for the Boston Celtics, as he will get some legs, rest his legs, and will be able to, take this game and slow it down a little bit off the bench. Do I still think we're going to need a game where he hits 3 or 4 or 5 threes? Most definitely. But he can take a little bit of the stress off of his shoulders. Guys like Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, or whoever they use as that secondary backup big, Luke Cornett, O'Shea Brissett, Xavier Tillman, need to also be ready and stay in that stay-ready movement alongside Al Horford to be ready to go for this squad. Now, if we want to look and kind of dive in, looking at, some stats, looking at Kristaps Porziņģis, we can see in the regular season, he played fantastic. 20 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists with 2 blocks and 0.7 steals on 1.5 turnovers and 3 fouls a game, shooting around 52% from the field and 38% from 3. He shoots obviously 15% from corner threes. Wasn't effective at all from them for the Boston Celtics, but 99% of his threes are assisted on and 39% of his shots are three-pointers, which goes to show you that he does bring some versatility for this Celtics squad when they do need him and will trust him in this lineup. Now, Kristaps Porziņģis coming back, having no ramp-up period with this Celtics team, leads me to believe that tonight he's not going to be the most impactful on the sides of the ball. But guys like Derrick White, Joe Mazzulla, and Jaylen Brown have all confirmed that he seemingly is going to fit right in with this Celtics squad ready to go. So they've been practicing, they've been warming up, they've been letting everybody get KP ready to go, and I truly believe that he's going to come out and play solid basketball tonight. Maybe not second or third best star level basketball tonight. Get some comfortability going, can feel himself, get some energy going with the crowd. I truly believe that he can have a big game, and we're going to need him to have a big game, especially going up against the big men and Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively, who are very consistent at shooting from the field goal from inside the paint and making consistent shots in the paint. We're going to need our shot blockers and rim protectors to be ready to go. But let's kind of get back. Let's look and talk about some more Dallas Mavericks injury updates, as that's the other part of the video that we have to break down today. Kind of diving in, looking at Luka Doncic and how this could be big news for the Boston Celtics here, as obviously Luka and Kyrie are these two best players for the Mavericks, and if Luka's dealing with a little bit of an injury, the Celtics might be able to use that, exploit that, and get, Game 1 wrapped up a little bit easier. So let's look at this Reddit post from the Mavericks here saying the injury report, the Mavs are going into the finals with 2 injuries. Luka is probable with right knee sprain and left ankle soreness. Most likely is going to play. And Omax is obviously questionable with a left ankle sprain. The Celtics submitted an empty injury report, which we obviously broke down when looking at this photo. But if we want to get back to, the one that we were just looking at, Omax, Olivier Maxence Prosper, has played one game from the playoffs. I don't expect him to play that much. He's a young rookie. But Luka, probable dealing with this right knee sprain, left ankle soreness. He's obviously going to play through it to maintain, to be a star player for this Dallas Mavericks team. But ultimately, I do think that it may hinder his performances a little bit. We obviously saw in the playoffs in game closing situations, he was very solid versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. But guys like Anthony Edwards, Mike Conley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, yeah, they may be great defenders, but the Celtics have the best guard duo in the entire NBA on the defensive side in Jrue Holiday and Derrick White. So I'm telling you, if there's anybody I trust, anybody that can limit, stop, hinder Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, it's those two guys, and I expect that to be their main concern tonight. Be aggressive. Make sure Luka doesn't get any easy looks, and if they can be tight on the defensive side, be very, very aggressive. Not saying that it can happen, but possibly something could be good for the Boston Celtics coming out of this if Luka has to deal with all that pressure added on top with some injury concerns. We want to look at this tweet also from Greg Afseth. Luka Doncic says he has a good amount of rest to manage his knee sprain with ankle soreness, but he'll see how he checks in game one, if it's better or not, but it's been great to have some rest for sure. So obviously, Luka needing that rest these last couple of days to maintain this knee and this ankle. Hasn't been the greatest amount of rest, definitely still has some concerns going into it, not as clear as Kristaps Porziņģis is for the Boston Celtics, which is huge, but, still dealing with some injuries of his own, which I think, can lead to some big things for this Boston Celtics team. Ultimately and hopingly, we can come out, we can be on top, we can successfully be able to take control of this game. But looking at, Luka Doncic's stats for the season, we can obviously see he's a, prime MVP candidate, one of the best players in the league, averaging 34 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, almost 10 assists on half a block and 1.5 steals, 4 turnovers, 2 fouls a game, shooting 49% from the field and 38% from three-point range. Again, really good playmaker, really good setter-upper, really good in the crunch time. So the Boston Celtics are going to have to manage that, make sure they can take control of Luka Doncic. In our live stream yesterday, we kind of had a bit of a preview, kind of breaking down. Rob and I were discussing some defensive matchups, and I have to agree with him. I think you got to throw Jrue Holiday and Jaylen Brown on a guy like Luka Doncic for a majority of the game. Maybe Jaylen Brown gets the majority of the assignment for the beginning of the matchup alongside Jayson Tatum, but then towards the end of the game, Jrue Holiday, I think, needs to be on a guy like Luka Doncic because we saw Jrue Holiday get some clear-cut, game-sealing steals, buckets, and helpful moments for this team in Indiana, and we can see him do that again versus Dallas. That would be insane. He's done it in the finals versus Phoenix last time he was there, getting that steal and pass to get Giannis the alley-oop to kind of take over in that series. Let's see him do it for the Celtics tonight versus the Dallas Mavericks. Once again, we got a massive injury update. I hope you guys did enjoy the content here today. If you guys saw the new style, new point of this video, drop down what you guys enjoyed, how you guys are feeling about going into this matchup. Like I mentioned in the introduction, though, we will be live once again tonight for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Celtics versus Mavericks. Should be interesting. Should be fun. We will be here. Hope to catch you guys coming in and joining us. We greatly appreciate it. If you guys are at this point of the video, you guys still are chilling here, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are like 3 subscribers away, guys, from 4,000 subscribers. I can't appreciate you guys' support so much. That has been our goal to get to by the end of the playoffs, and it's looking like we're going to get to that goal. So I can't thank you guys so much for your guys' undivided support. You guys truly mean the world to me, and I hope to catch you guys in the stream tonight, hoping for a Celtics W. Let me know how you guys are feeling about this game. Are you nervous? Are you excited? How are you guys feeling? Drop down your thoughts. Once again, I'm Bruce Veliz. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out and go Boston Celtics, baby.